If you had to give up all material, personal, and professional success in order to maintain some relationships in your life, would you do it? So like when I was younger, particularly in high school, I found myself asking this sort of question, not in those exact words, but basically asking the question of like, what's more important, personal success or building relationships? I found that like that period in my life brought a lot of isolation, introversion, which introversion is totally not a bad thing at all. I did find myself sort of just boxing myself into my own little world. I don't think that was really like an enjoyable part of my life. Like looking back on it, as I said, like it was just kind of my own little box of hell. I was in my own head, building my own story, working on my own stuff. I wasn't connecting with people. I wasn't putting time into building relationships at home and building relationships out at school with friends, right? Yeah, so now if you were to ask me that same question, would you give up personal or material success in order to maintain relationships and build relationships? I would definitely say yes. It's definitely a tricky question because obviously it's important to, work on yourself and build those personal and professional goals. But I've now really understood the importance of relationships in a person's life and how much that contributes to just the overall well-being of that person. I've gone through some stuff. It's taken losing a father. I've had my fair share of heartbreaks and I've lost friends along the way. And so over the course of these experiences, I've learned to sort of change my perspective on always being like materialistically productive, I guess, like in American like workaholism culture, like that's, it's a go get it, like grit work, 60, 70 hour weeks, like put your head down, focus work. I think there's a lot of good to that, but I also think that when it starts to bleed into relationships, it starts to detract from your relationships in your life, it can definitely be detrimental and it's just not a sustainable, good way to live. Even if you were to acquire all the riches in the world, right? I think there was this Roman philosopher, Marcus Cicero, said, "Who in the world would want to be surrounded by all of the riches if he or she were alone?" Even if you were to get to the pinnacle of success, the very top, and you were to have it all, you can picture that in your mind, whatever that is, right? If you were to have it all but have no one to share it with, or just to lose people or important people in the process, right? To sacrifice those relationships with your mother, your father, your significant other, your really close childhood friends, you're paying a big price for that. I feel like it's definitely possible to go through your entire life and not ever really internalize this, which is pretty terrifying. Could you imagine just like going down this path, chiseling away, putting everything, blood, sweat, tears into like your craft, whatever it is, just to reach the end and feel like I just don't have anyone, or I don't have relationships, or I feel alone? That's very common, especially in like American culture. So I wrote this in my journal. I said, to totally give your all in all your endeavors and personal goals at the cost of maintaining close relationships, and then to work even harder so that you can distract yourself and prevent yourself from feeling sad about this, sounds like hell. Like it's just not a winning strategy long term. So food for thought, you already have everything. If you're watching this video, look around at all the beautiful people that you have in your life. Personal endeavors are wonderful. I'm not demonizing them in any way because they build independence, they build character, discipline, but it's important to sort of understand and walk the fine line between working hard on your tasks and then making time for the relationships and the friendships that matter. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have. We can only do so much alone, but together there comes a, what am I saying? So to wrap this up, I think that it is important to have personal goals and endeavors and to really strive and push yourself to the max, right? That's so important. Beware and just like be really mindful of the fact that it's really easy to get sucked into this is my life and I will give anything for this, including relationships and friendships, because that's just very dangerous. And in the past, I've seen myself kind of veering into that direction and I've kind of pulled myself out of it. So, and I definitely think there are seasons for, working really hard, really focused, deep work on whatever it is, months at a time. Writing, I'm a software developer, so like learning, getting up to speed on like writing code, like best practices and stuff like that, that really took a lot of time. But coming out of that that season in my life and spending much more time with friends, and even still during those moments, making time to call your family and your friends every day. It's just so important to kind of keep you grounded and keep you anchored to what really matters. So yeah, if you got anything from this video, make sure you give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.